Hey everybody, welcome to Eagles Game Plan presented by Toyota, and it's not getting any easier for the Eagles. They play the first place Packers and the highest scoring offense in the NFL on the road at Lambeau Field. So let's bring in Ike Reese and Mike Quick. And Ike, actually with the Eagles defense, not bad. They gave up 13 points in total to the Cleveland Browns, and then against the Seahawks, they gave up 23, but that's the second fewest the Seahawks have scored this year. What are you seeing from the Birds' D?
I'm starting to see very good things. It started in Cleveland, only giving up 13 points in inclement weather, and then it carried over to Seattle this past week, particularly the start of the game. This team was going to need some type of energy and belief to keep them going in this game, and the defense brought it. They didn't get turnovers off of Seattle, but getting 2 fourth down stops in that first quarter and holding Seattle scoreless, I think gave the Eagles an opportunity to get themselves into this game. And even when they went down 14-0, they didn't really fold the tent and open up the floodgates. I thought they came out in the second half, they fought, they battled. Russell Wilson is a quarterback that's hard to contain. And if you look at the last 3 times the Eagles defense has faced Russell Wilson isn't excited to face the Jim Schwartz defense. This defense makes things difficult for Russell. They did that Monday night. Wasn't enough to get the win, but it certainly was enough to give them a chance to win that game.
Yeah, the Eagles defense actually giving up the 8th fewest passing yards in the NFL, but Mike Quick, DK Metcalf, career high 177 yards against the Birds. He's got the most receiving yards in the NFL. It's not going to get any easier this week, but what did you think of Darius Slay against DK Metcalf?
You know, this is a matchup that I don't think many teams are going to have success if they go one-on-one against DK Metcalf on a week-in, week-out basis. The guy is just a different breed. And when he's out there one-on-one, he's so big, he's so powerful, and he can outrun everybody on the field. I thought Darius Slay did a real nice job staying in phase with him and positioned many times to make plays on the football. But this guy's just so big, so strong, he was able to go up and take the ball. Slay talked about those 50-50 balls. Well, DK just won on the 50-50 balls, but Slay in good position on almost every play.
So now Slay goes from facing DK to Davante Adams. Davante's the only receiver in the NFL averaging over 100 receiving yards a game. Here's Greg Cosell with Enemy Intel.
The biggest concern for the Eagles in the Packers passing game, obviously besides Aaron Rodgers, is Davante Adams, who I believe is the best wide receiver in the National Football League. Adams lines up all over the formation. He lines up inside, he lines up outside. And when I say I believe he's the best receiver in the NFL, one area in which I am dead certain he's the best is getting off press coverage. No one does it better than Adams, and he can win in multiple ways. He can win with quickness and short area burst, and we're going to start with that against the Texans. And here, he's in the slot. Now, obviously in the slot, he's in a reduced split, but because he's in the slot, he's matched against the corner, Eric Murray, the slot corner for the Texans. Now, Murray's in press position. Look at Adams off the ball. Just incredible quickness. He wins on his second step. He's over the top of Murray, and he wins vertically, giving Rodgers a clearly defined throw. This becomes a big play and a touchdown. That's Davante Adams at his best, winning versus press. But as I said, he can win in multiple ways. He can win with quickness and light feet off the ball. He can also win against press and man coverage by running away from it. That's another way to win. Here in the same game against the Texans, Phillip Gaines is the corner. And here, what you'll see with Adams is he'll simply run away from him on a crossing route. And notice the separation. Adams is not a 4.4 speed burner, but he has tremendous play speed and great separation quickness. And this becomes a 36-yard explosive play. So we've just seen Adams against press coverage. That's man coverage. Now he's also really good against zone. And the reason he's so good against zone is he's so nuanced and disciplined in his craft as a route runner. He's patient. He doesn't rush anything. He knows how to set up underneath defenders and find voids. Here it's against a linebacker. That's how we know it's not man coverage. The linebacker is over Adams. This is where the patience comes in. Notice how Adams uses his vertical stem. He doesn't race into the void and show his cards too early. What he does is he takes it vertical and then breaks behind and inside the linebacker. And Aaron Rodgers knows that. They have a great chemistry together. And this is a beautiful play. Great route by Adams, precise ball placement throw by Rodgers. And you see a gain of 18 yards. And this was on that final tying drive against the Colts a few weeks ago. So the Eagles are dealing with the best receiver in the NFL, and he will line up all over the formation. You must locate him on every play, and you must prevent him from creating big explosive plays.
So obviously a big challenge for the Birds defense going against the Packers. They're averaging close to 32 points a game, most of the NFL. So Ike Reese, we've seen this Eagles defense earlier on, a lot of jet sweeps and a lot of motion pre-snap. They've had a lot of problems with it. The Packers have a lot of motion pre-snap. They do a lot of this. Eagles got burnt by the Rams, but have they gotten a little better against this?
Yeah, they certainly have, John. And we know in this league, it's a copycat league, and you talked about the Eagles' struggles early in the season with sort of these misdirection plays, wide receiver reverses, wide receiver handoffs. Well, they saw it for a few weeks, and they finally figured out how to play it. You go back to last week versus Seattle. Here's a great example in the red zone, and you're going to get David Moore coming across in motion. The Eagles seem to be in some sort of man coverage, and as Nicole Roby-Coleman follows him across, here's what I like about where the Eagles have improved defensively. Their communication. Look at Nicole Roby-Coleman, Jalen Mills. You see they're communicating. They're using hand signals to communicate to the safeties. And what you're going to see at the snap of the ball, when the fake toss goes to the right, no one bites on it. Everybody is gap sound, and everybody's doing their responsibility. Front side players stay there, and then the backside players take care of it. Rodney McLeod does a great job of recognizing David Moore coming back. And I mean, it's like Rodney is shot out of a cannon when he recognizes this play. He gets to the backfield, blows this play up before he even gets to the line of scrimmage. It's hard to get a safety to make a play in the backfield when he's covering the deep part of the defense. So great play, great job of communicating with the defense. That's what they're going to need to do against Green Bay, one of the teams who uses these jet sweep motions more than anybody. Great communication and also trusting each other to do their own job.
And Mike, quick, Jim Schwartz said Aaron Rodgers has taken his game to another level, if that's possible. He's the highest rated quarterback in the NFL. You can't really sack him. Good on third down and the red zone. And he, of course, can move out of the pocket. So is this the toughest challenge the Birds defense has faced this year?
I think it's going to be a huge challenge because of Aaron Rodgers, first of all, but he has so many good weapons around him. The backs out of the backfield, they're versatile guys that really can run the ball, get downhill. A big tight end and Mercedes Lewis that they can get the ball to, especially in the red zone now. And of course, the weapons on the outside. So it really makes them a formidable foe because they can beat you in so many ways. And Aaron Rodgers has seen every type of defense that you can throw at him, so he's not going to be surprised. He's not going to be confused.
Eagles Game Plan is brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers, proud automotive partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy. Pepsi, your new official soft drink of your Philadelphia Eagles. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Pick up your Eagles Fast Play ticket today.
Yeah! Oh! Yes, sir! Come on, boy! Oh, that fourth down play! Yeah, you know, I ain't gonna say nothing else. Hey, that was you, Sweaty? No, that wasn't me. I'm on there. Oh. Oh, no, it's all good. I just was trying to congratulate somebody. That help you. I like you, man. I like you too. But they better help you. Yeah, let's go, DB. Turn me up. Yep. Good dog. What up, boy? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, man. We still hanging in, ain't we?
Eagles legend. Oh, statue out.
Yeah.
Always love to hear Brandon Graham talking, and he talks throughout the game. Eagles defensive line, only the Steelers have more sacks in the NFL, so they're getting it done up front. And how about Derek Barnett? Mike Quick, you look at the Eagles early on, they were upset that the Seahawks were like, all right, we're going to keep going for it on fourth down. How about Derek Barnett and his big stops in that game?
Guys, I thought that there were a lot of great performances on the defensive side of the ball, but Derek Barnett really stood out. The first time they went for it on fourth down, it was Derek Barnett who blew up the offensive line getting penetration. But on this particular play, it's even better. When Russell Wilson steps back to throw the ball, he looks to his right. There's a little bit of a rub concept over there. He didn't like it. So Russell right away hits that back foot and he wants to run. He sees a little opening, but watch Derek Barnett as he takes on the tackle, pushes him back, and as soon as Russell starts forward, he spins back to the inside and he takes down Russell Wilson for a sack. Derek Barnett had some outstanding plays in that football game, but I don't think any of them were better than that play when he stopped Russell Wilson on a big fourth down.
Yeah, and on the other side, the Eagles are going to have to watch out for that Packers pressure package led by Za'Darius Smith. He's got 9 sacks. Here's Greg Cosell again with enemy intel.
The Eagles offense will face a Packers defense that plays a lot in sub-dime, meaning 6 defensive backs on the field. That is Mike Pettine's preferred personnel package. And what they do out of that sub-dime is they line up with Preston Smith and Za'Darius Smith up front. Now, the key here is you'll often see Za'Darius Smith inside, almost as a stand-up 3 technique. And they do that because they want to match him up on offensive guards. And that is a challenge for an offensive guard, no matter who it is, because Za'Darius Smith is a very good inside pass rusher who can win with both quickness and power. What happens here is he causes a fumble by Mitchell Trubisky, and it ends up being a touchdown for the Packers. So that's one thing you must be concerned about and must be aware of when you face the Packers and their pass rush, particularly when you get into long yardage and third down situations. Za'Darius Smith will line up inside. He does that often in their dime fronts. Now, the other player who's a concern, and he predominantly lines up on the outside, is Preston Smith. Now, Preston Smith hasn't had quite the impactful year he had a year ago, but he is still dangerous as an edge pass rusher against any offensive tackle. And here, you'll see him against the Bears left tackle, Charles Leno. Again, you'll see the speed to power, the force, the velocity pushing Leno right back into the pocket, creating another sack on Trubisky. So these 2 players, Preston Smith and Za'Darius Smith, are really important players for the Packers with their pass rush. And keep in mind, this is not a team that blitzes a high percentage. They rely primarily on their 4-man pass rush. So this is the challenge the Eagles' offensive line will face against the Packers.
Yeah, you saw Carson Wentz get hit 12 times. He was sacked 6 times against the Seahawks, and he's on pace to be sacked the 4th most times in NFL history. So, Ike Reese, you're seeing the offensive line facing a lot of stunts and twists and games, and they're really struggling with that. What are you seeing?
Well, you're seeing a lack of continuity, a little bit of inexperience, and guys unsure of themselves. And that's why defensive coordinators and defensive line coaches will bring you and give you a bunch of different line stunts when they know they are facing an offensive line that lacks continuity and experience. And that's what the Eagles have pretty much been going through all year. And line stunts are a thing of beauty. You know, playing under Jim Johnson, I had the privilege to be his joker in his Okie defenses, his third down packages, where I had to play one of these roles as a guy who sets up stunts. And it's so critical that the offensive line has to do a great job with that initial rusher and not allowing penetration, and then doing an even better job of recognizing when the stunt guy is looping. And that's where you get confusion. It's originally that first guy who's off the line of scrimmage. If he gives you a great burst and gives you great penetration, it's going to be difficult to stop those line stunts. So that's where you have to start at first, is getting the penetrator, not allowing him to get there, and then you can get your shoulder square and you can see the loopers coming. And that's what Lane Johnson and Brandon Brooks were so great at. They had played together for so many games, they almost knew each other's tendencies. and they didn't mind going up against different line stunts. But that's what this offensive line, due to inexperience and lack of cohesion, have struggled with all season long. And that's why they continue to see it every week, because defensive coaches recognize it.
I always knew, Ike Reese, you could be a coach. That is good stuff. So, Mike Quick, when the Eagles started their 10th different offensive line combination in their 11th game, no team has had to do that in 33 years. How tough is that for the communication and everything with these games?
Well, when you're going to execute on offense, it really begins at the offensive line and being able to protect the quarterback, being able to open run lanes. And that is always a problem when you don't have the continuity that Ike spoke about earlier. Guys have to understand what the other guy is thinking. He talked about Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson on that right side, and the fact that they've played so much together that they understand how to finish the other guy's sentence. That's how tight the offensive line has to be. When you don't have that, because you've had so many different combinations, it's very difficult to have the harmony that you need to have at the offensive line, and it all begins there when you're going to have a good offense.
Well, welcome back to Eagles Game Plan presented by Toyota. I'm Fran Duffy, and today, in our edition of Tape Study presented by Chickies and Pete's, I want to take a look back at the last time these two teams met. Eagles-Packers, 2019, last September. It was Week 4, Thursday Night Football, and just kind of going back and re-watching that game this week, which, by the way, both teams will be doing that. They will be watching the last time they met. Going back and watching it, the big thing that stood out to me, the Eagles' success on first down. Just running the football alone, they were outstanding at the point of attack. And then also throwing the football, they were really, really efficient in this game. No sacks, no turnovers, over 30 points scored. It's a pretty good formula, right? And just going back, one of their biggest plays on first down was this run by Miles Sanders. And it's really one of their staples. They still use it this year. It's the wham play, one of my favorite plays in all of football. I want you to look at this defensive tackle that's lined up, head up on the left tackle, Jason Peters. He's lined up as a 5 technique, right on the outside shade of his eyes. And if you look at that defensive tackle, you would think Jason Peters is going to block him, but that is not going to be the case. In fact, what you're going to see is Dallas Goedert get motioned in tight to the formation, and just at the snap of the ball, he's going to insert himself inside, block that defensive tackle, and look what that does. It allows the offensive line to get right up to the second level, and you have a very well-defined lane for a then rookie running back in Miles Sanders. He flies downhill and gets 30 yards on first down. The Eagles had 20 first down runs in that game against Green Bay, 103 yards. So over 5 yards a carry on first down. When then you go back and look at the first down efficiency this past week against Seattle, the Eagles had 24 offensive plays, just 53 yards. And if you're as bad at math as I am, I'll help you out a little bit. That's just over 2 yards of play on first down. We've made so much about the Eagles' inefficiency on third down over the last month, but if you do not have that success on first and second down, you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball when it comes to having success on third down. That first down run by Sanders, good example of that, but you don't need those 30-yard chunks. If you can get 5-6 yards on first down, that really sets yourself up to open the whole playbook up to really be versatile as a play caller and then as a quarterback as well. So first down success going to be a big part of this game. Eagles, Packers is going to be one of the elements that I will be most watching here on Sunday afternoon.
The Eagles are big underdogs again at Green Bay against the Packers. Their best win over this year and last year was in Lambeau last September. Maybe they can get that magic back. Carson Wentz has to protect the football. I am John Clark. Thanks for watching Eagles Game Plan presented by Toyota. Check out our kickoff show, our pregame show on PhiladelphiaEagles.com at 3:40. Enjoy it, everybody. Eagles Game Plan is brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers, proud automotive partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy. Pepsi, your new official soft drink of your Philadelphia Eagles. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Pick up your Eagles Fast Play ticket today.